on Pothole Patrol, the city's solution to mending the gap on local streets. Admitting responsibility for sparking a wildfire, how long a Saskatchewan man could spend behind bars. And keeping business downtown, the incentive being offered to attract more customers to Saskatoon's core.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight on the streets of Saskatoon. The city says crews are on pothole patrol during the spring thaw. CTV's Stacey Hine has more on what's being done to address them.
It's a familiar problem this time of year. Potholes are popping up around Saskatoon, and drivers are feeling it.
Pretty frustrating. Yeah, I always wince a little bit and hope my tire didn't completely crumble.
Very frustrating. I almost thought I popped my tire, but I didn't.
The city says nearly 2,000 potholes have been reported this year, about double this time last year.
We're attributing that to a lot of freeze and thaw conditions throughout the winter season, as well as a lot of snowfall throughout this winter that's had to melt off.
Potholes can be reported online through the city's Report a Pothole map. But if it looks like it's going to cause serious vehicle damage or injury, the city says call it in.
If a pothole is reported as an emergency, we'll have an inspector out to verify that within about a day. And then if that emergency status is confirmed, then we'll have that repaired within 2 days.
SGI says vehicle damage caused by potholes is usually covered, but says drivers should still take it slow.
Making sure that you're taking a nice slow speed, giving yourself space around you and the other vehicles so you can spot those hazards early and steer around safely when it's clear to do so.
The city says on average 10 to 13 crews will be out fixing potholes and urges drivers to use extra caution in work zones. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A man from northern Saskatchewan has admitted to starting one of the province's largest wildfires last year. CTV's Laura Woodward on the guilty plea and how long he could spend behind bars.
A man from La Ronge has admitted to sparking a massive wildfire last year. 29-year-old Jason Halkett pleaded guilty to arson in connection to the Ditch 2 wildfire. It was first reported on May 26th in the hamlet of Wildfire. The wildfire burned more than 200,000 hectares, about 20 times the size of Saskatoon, threatening communities along the Highway 2 corridor into La Ronge. The Ditch 2 fire started as several other major wildfires, including the Shoe and Wolf fires, were already burning across northern Saskatchewan. After the Public Safety Agency determined the fire was human-caused, RCMP launched a criminal investigation. Halkett was arrested in August in Saskatoon and charged with 1 count of arson, damage to property. The offense carries a maximum sentence of up to 14 years in prison. He's scheduled to be sentenced on May 7th in Montreal Lake. Wildfire officials are urging anyone affected by the fire to submit a community impact statement to help inform the judge's sentencing decision. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A teenager has pleaded guilty in the death of a 31-year-old man from a Saskatchewan First Nation last March. The youth, who could not be named, was charged with manslaughter in the killing of Drew Jack on March 21st, 2025 on the Carry the Kettle Nakota Nation. The autopsy determined Jack's cause of death was a gunshot wound to his torso. A trial for the teen was supposed to start in November, but because of the guilty plea, it has been vacated. Sentencing submissions are scheduled for June. The case is not connected to the quadruple homicide that occurred on the First Nation on February 4th of 2025. A trial date has been set for a Saskatoon area woman accused of killing her husband. Lauren Bessie was charged with first-degree murder in the death of 42-year-old Danny McGowan. He was found dead at the couple's home in August of 2024. During a preliminary hearing, the charge against her was reduced to second-degree murder. Her trial before judge and jury is scheduled to start January 18th at Court of King's Bench. Prince Albert police are looking to identify 4 people responsible for a recent fire at a local business. They have released security footage showing 2 people throwing what looks like Molotov cocktails at the front entrance of a business in the 3300 block of 2nd Avenue West. A third person shot at the front door. The incident happened yesterday morning just before 5:30. Police say they have found the silver vehicle believed to have been involved in the incident, but are looking for help identifying the 4 suspects. Anyone with information information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. An inmate who was serving a life sentence at Saskatoon's Regional Psychiatric Centre has died. 78-year-old Wilfred Mahou was sentenced September 25th of 1996. The Correctional Service of Canada says he died today of natural causes. A review of his death will be conducted, as is the case in all inmate deaths. Jeff, you swapped out your winter tires today, so that must be telling.
Well, you know what? It was time, and I looked at the long-range forecast, and I think it was, don't want to hurt those winter tires too much. Yes, so Bart and Mo and the team at Cal Tire took care of me, and I'm ready to go. So there you have it. So bottom line is we have got ourselves a quiet situation where, well, there you go. Not a lot going on across the Prairie provinces. A little warmer out in British Columbia, but the good news is that warm air is migrating across the provinces of the three that I just mentioned, and eventually it'll make its way into Ontario. But Ontario is going to be dealing with a whole lot of other things going on here. But ultimately, we've got ourselves a warm-up on the way, and we'll talk about the numbers later on.
Flags were lowered across Saskatoon today in recognition of the National Day of Mourning, a day to honor workers who have been killed, injured, or become sick on the job. As Carla Shinkrick explains, in the past decade, there have been some shifts in thinking toward the problem.
April 28th is the National Day of Mourning and has been observed every year since 1991.
April 28th is an extremely important day to working people across the country. It's the day that we remember workers that have lost their lives because they went to work.
Across Saskatchewan, ceremonies and vigils are being held to remember those impacted by workplace tragedies. In Saskatoon, flags at all city facilities are flying at half-mast. The president of the Saskatchewan Federation of Labour says the increase in violent episodes certain workers face is a serious concern now.
It has never happened before. Things like public libraries and city transit, and this is something that never used to be on anybody's radar.
The president of the Saskatoon and District Labour Council says mental health issues have also become more prevalent, and a public event at City Hall Tuesday night reflects that.
We do have a guest speaker talking about psychological illnesses in the workplace, which is more of a focus in the last couple of years.
Labour organizations say the day is not only about remembrance, but also about raising awareness and preventing future injuries and fatalities on the job. Recognizing this day also led to the West Ray Law in 2004. This holds employers more accountable.
The slogan is, kill a worker, go to jail, because the penalty needs to match, incidents. And every workplace death is preventable.
This year alone, almost 30 people died on the job in our province. Communities across the province are hosting vigils, including in Saskatoon, Regina, Moose Jaw, and Prince Albert. Organizers say these gatherings provide a space for reflection, support, and solidarity among workers and families. Carla Shinkrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Saskatoon's downtown business community is launching a new initiative to encourage people to shop local. As Hallie Mandrick reports, it comes as several vendors say it's a good time to be downtown.
For Saskatoon's downtown businesses, warmer weather means more than just longer days and more time outside. It also means more business.
So many events going on downtown Saskatoon. We have an extreme amount of out-of-town customers that come in. We see the hotels full, conventions. It's a fun time in downtown Saskatoon.
The Saskatoon Downtown Business Improvement District recently announced the launch of a Visa gift card that is exclusive to the city's downtown businesses as part of the organization's Shop Local initiative.
So this is a way for you to support downtown, our local restaurants, retailers, salons, hotels, and really just, inject, confidence in our downtown, supporting local.
Etceteras has been operating in Saskatoon's downtown for 26 years, and Friesen says that's thanks to the community.
Saskatoon is a huge local independent business supporter, and for that, us independents are extremely grateful.
It's not just the long-standing businesses that are seeing success at the moment. New sandwich shop Casa Capicola has been open for about a month, and the owner says the area immediately caught his eye.
My buddy, he was my real estate agent. He showed me this place, and when I seen it, I was like, this is the perfect location to pick. All these businesses around and stuff like that, like quick walk for a quick lunch.
Sinclair says, while starting a business comes with challenges, he's happy to be serving Saskatoon's downtown community.
It's been everything I could have asked for, honestly. I've been lined up out the door. People have been patient with me and stuff, like as I found my stride. And other than that, other than the windows getting smashed down here, it's all good.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The husband of a woman killed at a dangerous rail crossing in Churchbridge in eastern Saskatchewan was at the legislature today asking for safety improvements. Matthew Thompson wants warning lights installed, but the community says it can't afford the cost. As Wayne Mantica tells us, he's hoping the government can help.
Matthew and Alyssa Thompson were married for little over a month when the 29-year-old woman was killed in a collision between her vehicle and a train at a rail crossing in Churchbridge. It occurred a few days after Christmas. Now her husband is pushing for warning lights at the crossing.
Everybody who knew Alyssa loved her. She was just a kind person. She works in healthcare. Always put everybody else before herself, including the residents at the care home where she works in Saltcoats.
Safety improvements were considered 3 years ago after a similar collision at the crossing took the life of a man and injured 2 children. The town felt it couldn't afford the cost of lights, which at the time exceeded $300,000. Matthew Thompson feels the investment needs to be made.
Once it got to talk of the financial part of it, it seemed to just fall on deaf ears.
The NDP opposition raised the matter in question period.
For a town of 900 residents, these costs are too high, but for the provincial government, it's a drop in the bucket to save lives.
The government has been looking into the situation.
We're going to continue to work with our partners with the Class 1 railways. This is an issue that is raised, unfortunately, far too many times.
Matthew Thompson met with government and opposition officials while at the legislative building. He hopes that his efforts and those of others in his community will speed safety improvements at the railway crossing. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Premier Scott Moe says the province will not move forward with a plan to restrict social media and AI access for kids. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew announced a proposed ban this week for anyone under 16 years of age in that province. Moe told reporters that while Saskatchewan did explore the possibility of a ban at the provincial level, the province went a different direction. Moe saying he prefers a Canada-wide approach at the federal level.
We see an openness with the Prime Minister and the federal government to have that discussion. And so what we have thought would be an effective way for Saskatchewan to approach that discussion is to ask parents and families what your views are on social media limitations for children, at what age that should happen. There's some nuances to the question.
Moe added the government plans to provide information both publicly and to the federal government to help in any consideration of a national ban. Groups working in wildlife rescue say they are receiving more reports of birds showing signs of avian flu in Saskatchewan. Many say at least half of their calls have been related to the virus. The Ministry of Environment says that the majority of their avian flu-related calls have been coming from southern and central Saskatchewan.
Receiving an increased number of reports of sick and dying waterfowl, predominantly snow geese, over the last several weeks as the birds are moving through on their spring migration. The birds are, they're moving through quickly. They're trying to get up to their nesting grounds, and they're crowded. They're, they're stressed, and then that increases risk of transmission.
People can contract the virus through physical touch, but the rate remains very low. The deadline to file taxes is just a couple of days away, and it's coming at a time when more people look at their finances with uncertainty. Keenan Sorokon explains.
Affordability concerns and tax season are colliding this week. Jerry Wolf hasn't filed her taxes just yet, and she's not in a rush knowing she owes money back.
Taxes on taxes on taxes. I find it difficult to swallow any time I have to give the government money.
A recent report from MNP surveying 2,000 Canadians shows Wolf isn't alone. In Saskatchewan and Manitoba, 1 in 10 say they're unable to pay the taxes they owe. 6% will delay paying, and another 6% say they will need to borrow or go into debt to pay.
If you're already sort of feeling that crunch of like, okay, I can just get by, adding that Canada Revenue Agency, that can be that tipping point.
The report says rising prices of food and gas are straining finances overall. And for some, taxes are bringing another unwelcomed bill this time of year.
Canada Revenue Agency is very scary. It can be very daunting. They have a lot of ability to collect these funds from you.
But to avoid paying late penalties, the CRA says it's best to avoid the inevitable and file by Thursday's deadline. If you don't, late penalties start with a 5% penalty, with 1% added every month it isn't paid, and interest gets added.
CRA will work with you to make a payment arrangement if you're not able to make those amounts. So these days you can actually make a payment arrangement right from your online CRA account, or you can give us a call and we'll work something out that's reasonable.
For those getting money back, it's not enough to make a difference this year.
I've got milk in my fridge and meat in my freezer and no money left.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A female hockey team in Prince Albert says it's time for change. They say they are the only team in their league that doesn't have its own dedicated team dressing room. But as Jasmine Pelche reports, they may soon have their own space.
Although the team has been active for 20 years, the Prince Albert AAA U18 Northern Bears is the only team in the league without a designated dressing room.
We just have to, when we have to get out of our room, because I think it's the Raiders away dressing room that we use.
But that will change for the upcoming season. For years, the Bears have been slated to have a permanent dressing room at the proposed event center designed to be built next to the Lake Country Co-op Leisure Center. But there is no set timeline for the project's completion. On Monday afternoon, the Northern Bears made a pitch to City Council for the team to move from Art Hauser Center to the new arenas at the Leisure Center, where the girls could have a space to call their own.
Although we would have a dedicated space, it likely isn't sufficient for long-term use, but certainly would be better than what we have now, which is nothing.
Council was in unanimous support of the idea.
I've had billets in my home for the Bears and the Foxes, and so, they come from neighboring provinces because of the program that's been created here in Prince Albert. So that's through the great work of all involved. And so really excited to see this motion. I can't wait to watch the 2026-27 year in the new facility, watching the Bears play.
The city says it will work with the Bears so the team is able to move to a new home at the Leisure Center for the 2026-27 season.
I think it's so good for our team and our organization. It'll help probably recruit some girls too. Maybe if you're an out-of-towner and looking and they're like, oh, they don't have a dressing room.
A formal agreement will be presented at the July council meeting, but scheduling and planning will be underway in the next few weeks. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Still to come, a visit fit for a king, how a White House trip is going over. Also, Ottawa releases its spring statement. Is anything in store to help keep costs down in Canada? You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us tonight. Prime Minister Mark Carney and his government unveiled the federal spring economic statement today. While signaling a decreased deficit ahead of the update, the numbers tell a different story. CTV's Michael Couture reports.
It's more than just an economic update, proposing $37.5 billion in new measures over 5 years. A part of that includes a new skills training program. The government hopes to recruit, train, and hire between 80 and 100,000 skilled tradespeople by 2031. The cost of the program is $5.9 billion.
This means real pathways into skilled trades with paid training and hands-on experience. It means more opportunities for employers to hire and train young workers.
While the deficit was $11 billion lower this year compared to last fall's projection, the long-term outlook is largely unchanged, with no path to balance for the next 5 years. And the deficit will remain over $50 billion into the 2030-31 fiscal year.
Today's Liberal fiscal updates brings more costs, more debt, and more bills on the national credit card. This Prime Minister is just another Liberal.
Royalties from high oil prices are contributing to government revenues, but Canada is facing fiscal headwinds from the ongoing trade war with its largest trading partner.
Together, we can chart a path forward to the fog of uncertainty, because Canada has what the world wants and increasingly needs. We have the right plan. We're building big. We're moving fast.
In addition to yesterday's announcement of the Canada Sovereign Fund, there is other new spending. $755 million over 5 years to support Canada's sports system, including Olympic athletes, and $4.3 billion for Indigenous communities. There is one pocketbook measure Canadians could feel. The government is reducing the contribution rate for the Canada Pension Plan. Someone earning $70,000 per year will get to keep $133 more of their take-home pay annually. But there are few other new measures to help Canadians on a daily basis.
I think what it demonstrates is the high fiscal cost to the government of trying to introduce new pocketbook saving measures for Canadians. It is very expensive.
Pressed on that, the finance minister pointed to measures like bolstering the grocery and essentials benefit, as well as suspending the excise tax on gasoline until Labor Day, as ways the government is helping Canadians deal with the affordability crisis. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
King Charles and Queen Camilla were welcomed to the White House today for an historic state visit at a time of strained relations between Donald Trump and the UK government. All of that was put aside as the White House rolled out the red carpet. With more, here is Joy Malbon in Washington.
A grand show at the White House, pomp and ceremony, pulling out all the stops for the royals. Even on America's 250th anniversary of breaking away from Britain, the president adores the monarchy, and so did his mother.
She loved the royal family, and she loved the Queen. I also remember her saying very clearly, Charles, look, young Charles, he's so cute. It's my mother. My mother had a crush on Charles.
No hint of tension here, but the king's diplomatic challenge is to smooth over the strained special relationship over the U.S. war with Iran. Trump lashed out at NATO allies and UK's prime minister for a lack of perceived support.
This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
For American royal watcher Rashad Thomas, mixed feelings about this visit.
I'm offended by President's attacks on Canada, slagging the Royal Navy not long ago, and the British Prime Minister, and it's just really not the way you treat allies.
The first ever British king to address Congress, Charles acknowledged the attempt on the president's life.
Such acts of violence will never succeed. Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy.
And despite political friction, a reminder of a long shared history and values.
From the bitter divisions of 250 years ago, we forged a friendship that has grown into one of the most consequential alliances in human history.
What's not on the schedule, meeting with Epstein survivors. The King's younger brother, Andrew, questioned by police, stripped of his royal titles over his dealings with the pedophile.
Tonight, a royal banquet where the president was very much involved, calling it an honor, telling the BBC that the King's visit will go a long way in healing any friction. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
The United Arab Emirates says it will pull out of the oil exporting group OPEC effective Friday. The UAE has recently pushed back against production restrictions and had increasingly frosty relations with neighboring Saudi Arabia, OPEC's de facto leader. The UAE is the world's 8th largest oil producer. It says the decision reflects its long-term strategy and economic vision and its evolving energy profile. OPEC accounts for roughly 40% of the world's oil output and has seen its power wane in recent years as the United States increased crude oil production. In the Middle East, 2 Israeli strikes on a building in southern Lebanon killed 5 people. The Lebanese health ministry says 3 rescuers who went to help those hurt in the initial attack were among the casualties. 2 Lebanese soldiers were also injured in the second strike. The country's prime minister calls the attacks a war crime. Israel and Hezbollah have continued to clash in the south, where Israeli troops are deployed in a self-declared buffer zone. But the ceasefire has led to a significant reduction in hostilities. Israel has destroyed homes it describes as infrastructure being used by Hezbollah. The Iranian-backed militant group has kept up its drone and rocket attacks against Israeli troops in Lebanon and northern Israel. Meanwhile, Donald Trump says Iran wants the U.S. to open the Strait of Hormuz as soon as possible. The president also insists Tehran has informed him the Islamic Republic is in a state of collapse and is figuring out its leadership situation. Trump has not been receptive to Iran's recent peace proposal. It would see discussion of its nuclear program set aside until the war ends. But Trump wants that issue settled first.
My name is Maddox.
My name is Alexei.
We are dancers with the Yevshan Ukrainian Folk Ballet Ensemble.
And we'll both be dancing May 9th at TCU Place for Best Song Festival.
Come watch us dance along with a bunch of super talented groups. There will be 2 Ukrainian bands, and you can even try dancing too.
There's amazing Ukrainian food, so honestly, even if you just come to eat, totally valid.
Якою буде погода?
What's the weather supposed to be like for Best Song Festival, Jeff?
Well, the temperatures are looking very good for Vesna on May the 9th, but I'm going to concentrate on May the 3rd because that is when ticket sales close for Vesna for this year. So that's coming up on Sunday. Your ticket deadline to get those tickets, just go to vesnafestival.com. And speaking of Sunday, May 3rd, looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, 21 big degrees. So a nice day to get those tickets. All righty. And Vesna means spring, and it looks like spring is finally here. 6 degrees. It's a little late, but finally here. 6 degrees in Saskatoon, 5 in Prince Albert, 7 in the Battlefords, and not particularly windy in all 3 locations. Saskatoon's almanac, our high today, just 7 degrees, so we're still well below the seasonal average of 15. The record warm temperature on this date from 1952, that was 33 big degrees. That's warm. Minus 13, the record cold temperature from 1903 and 1958, and the sun is going to go down at 8:27.
Coming up, going back to our roots, the cultural classes connecting Saskatchewan students to the land.
Provinces are shifting away from time change. Wednesday on Your Morning, how Lloydminster's mayor says they'll be affected by Alberta's decision to move toward ending the clock change.
All right, a lovely shot through the live lens of Skycam. We've got ourselves a big blue sky. A few clouds out there, but it's been a pretty pleasant day. Temperatures, certainly below seasonal, but if you were outdoors today, it was still nice enough to get out and walk around and get some sunshine. So I hope you had a chance to do that. Let's take a look and see what's going on with our satellite and radar shot here. As you can see, the big trough that we've been talking about is still in place, so still some cooler air hanging down on top of not just Saskatchewan, but Manitoba and Alberta as well. But ultimately, this warm air is going to start shifting eastward, and we will feel that impact. The trough is going to move into parts of Ontario and Quebec, so things are going to cool off there, and eventually they'll be cooling off in the Atlantic region as well. A couple of rounds of rain and maybe other things, not snow, but certainly possibility of some thunderstorm activity moving into Ontario. So if your travel plans are taking you out that way, you might want to take that into consideration. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on for our hot spot. That was 12 degrees in Coronach. Key Lake, the cold spot at -17. Currently, it is 8 degrees in Lloydminster and Estevan, 9 in Swift Current, 5 in Moose Jaw, 7 in Regina, and 4 in Yorkton. In other parts of central Saskatchewan, temperatures ranging from 2 degrees in a few communities up to 9, and that is in Rosetown and Kindersley, at 6 in Meadow Lake, 5 in Watrous, 5 in Waskesiu as well, 3 in Wynyard. Up north, temperatures don't change all that much from central Saskatchewan. It's 3 degrees right now in Buffalo Narrows and Key Lake, -2 in Collins Bay, but 2 on the plus side in La Ronge and Sandy Bay Island Falls. Down south, a few double-digit temperatures. That's in Leader, Maple Creek, and Coronach. It's 9 in East End and Weyburn. Otherwise, temperatures drop off a little bit, particularly as we make our way eastward. Just 4 degrees right now in Melville. On to our futurecast, with the computer modeling indicating that, first of all, it's not going to be particularly windy at all. You can see those pressure lines are really, really far apart, and not much going on in terms of, significant rainfall. You see scattered showers and daytime heating popping up in parts of British Columbia, and maybe some action in the foothills. The foothills might see a little bit of flurry activity, but it won't be significant. Temperatures of around 8 degrees for northern Saskatchewan tomorrow under cloudy or mainly cloudy skies. Mainly cloudy conditions for west central Saskatchewan. Temperatures of around 13 or 14 degrees. Just slightly warmer in the southwest. Leader getting up to 16 degrees, 14 in Maple Creek and Outlook, 13 in Swift Current. Just slightly cooler in the southeast, 9 in Yorkton, 11 in Regina, Moose Jaw, 12, 10 in Estevan. Expecting 11 degrees in Watrous, 7 in Melfort and Humboldt, and 8 for a high tomorrow in Hudson Bay. Dropping down to -4 tonight in the Battlefords with clearing skies, but more clouds showing up tomorrow and a bit of a wind shift later in the day. 19 on Thursday, 23 on Friday, cooling off to 17, but that's still above seasonal on Saturday, and that's certainly true of Sunday and Monday, but cooling off to 11 1 week from today. Prince Albert's overnight temperature -4 degrees, 9 on the plus side for tomorrow. 14 on Thursday, so seasonal, and then 19 on Friday, 14 on Saturday with a lot of sunshine going on there, 18 on Sunday, 13 to start the work week, and 8 on Tuesday. And Saskatoon's temperature expected to drift down to -3 degrees tonight. Winds out of the south at 15. Tomorrow, the northwesterly winds at 20. That's going to happen late in the day. Otherwise, southerly winds. 14 degrees for a high, so a seasonal temperature tomorrow with mainly cloudy skies. And then warming up to 18 on Thursday, 23 by Friday, and staying warm on Saturday and Sunday. Monday looking good at 17 and 9 degrees, the high on Tuesday. An international rock icon is making 2 stops in Saskatchewan. Gene Simmons, one of the founding members of KISS, is bringing his solo act to Saskatoon and Moose Jaw. The Gene Simmons Band will play Moose Jaw's Temple Gardens Centre on December the 5th. Then, 2 nights later, they land at TCU Place in Saskatoon. It's the Performing All the Classic Hits Canada 2026 tour. Tickets go on sale Friday at genesimmons.com and on the venue websites. And hey, when he's in Saskatoon, he gets to see his in-laws. I feel like playing some soccer. Sure. The Tragically Hip are among those being inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. 2026 marks the 10th year since the death of frontman Gord Downie. Their music, including songs like Ahead by a Century, Wheat Kings, and Bob Cajun, is woven into the fabric of Canadian culture. The Hip are joined by Feist, Rock Voisine, and Loverboy. They'll all be honored at an induction ceremony at Toronto's Massey Hall on September 26th. And a man plotting to attack one of Taylor Swift's concerts in Vienna nearly 2 years ago has pleaded guilty at his trial as his trial began today. The plan was thwarted, but Austrian authorities still canceled Swift's 3 planned shows in August of 2024. The defendant faced several charges, including terror offenses and membership in a terrorist organization. His defense attorney says he pleaded guilty because he regrets the plan.
All right, Jeff, I think the last blast of winter will be featured in tonight's Pick of the Day.
I think so. We got lots of snow pictures, but we're going to start off with this graphic because last night I questioned whether or not 105 inches was a real thing up in Marsha Bergman's snowfall report with her picture of her dog, and then she contacted me later on and said, no, this is something from this came from the District of Lakeland office, and this was a post they made up. So yeah, they're happy with 105 inches of snow. So thank you, Marsha, for keeping me on track, and I apologize for doubting you. This one comes to us from Julie. Julie tells us, my grandson Grayson of Prince Albert took the photo over the weekend. Lillian sent this next one in, and she writes, Friday morning near Vanscoy, Midnight and Min Min like to go outside for a while, but not this morning. And finally from Kim and Jerry from Saskatoon. Kim says, we don't want any more snow, but our Nico from the north loves it. I love that look on the dog's face. If you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca. Please put Pick of the Day in the subject line. And for more help, you can always scan the QR code.
Still to come on CTV News, a partnership for land-based learning. What's helping Saskatchewan students learn about the province's deep cultural roots?
Greetings, everyone. Wanuskewin Heritage Park and the Greater Saskatoon Catholic Schools are continuing in agreement to educate the next generation about land-based teachings. The two organizations met on Earth Day, a global event dedicated to environmental protection. CTV's Hallie Mandrick has the story.
Students attending various schools in and around Saskatoon will officially be able to continue accessing teachings from Wanuskewin.
Land-based learning is a very important part of Indigenous culture and the spirituality of what that means. And so to be able to tie both of those in together, it just speaks to the fact that we're able to give all of our students that opportunity to learn from Mother Earth. And I think it's a beautiful day to be able to do this signing.
Greater Saskatoon Catholic Schools and Wanuskewin Heritage Park renewed a partnership for another 4 years. This agreement allows for students to access a variety of land-based teachings offered at Wanuskewin through their schools.
Where they can come out to the park, they can participate in programming, guided walks, might be art programs, it might be opportunities to learn from storytellers or knowledge keepers, elders, and all that can happen here at Wanuskewin.
A memorandum of understanding extended the partnership, which first began in 2021. The signing also coincided with Earth Day, which provided an opportunity for some teachings about the importance of the date.
You have to save Mother Earth because you need to keep her healthy. It's important to clean up around the earth so the animals don't get sick.
As one student says, the lessons taught through Wanuskewin have a special importance.
It's a good thing so they can learn about our culture and to take it in their brain so they can pass it on to other generations.
For Indigenous Circle, I'm Hallie Mandrick.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
When we come back, changes coming to the CFL. And later, what's in a name the top picks for Saskatchewan in 2025.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the rural forecast for tomorrow. And that's a little bit more like it for spring as we approach May. We've got ourselves 12 degrees in Meadow Lake and Spiritwood, 16 in Lloydminster, 14 in Kindersley. It looks like it's going to be a nice day in Kindersley. Lots of sunshine. As we make our way eastward, yes, temperatures don't quite warm up as quickly as we would like. That trough line is still sort of in place, or at least the edge of it. So, yes, still in the single digits. Now, let's make our way into southern Saskatchewan, or at least north and south of the Trans-Canada. A lot of double-digit temperatures with the exception of areas along, or at least approaching the Manitoba border. Those temperatures hanging around 8 degrees, but 16 for Leader tomorrow, 12 in Cypress Hills. Oh, and then just an update. Val-Marie was the provincial hotspot today at 12. It jumped up, or rather at 13. Speaking of 13, that is the temperature we expect to be at Edam tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be a mainly sunny day. Northwesterly winds at 20, but that's going to happen later in the afternoon. And Edam is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority is reminding people to be aware of hantavirus during any spring cleaning. Hantavirus is spread by airborne particles from infected deer mice droppings, urine, or saliva. According to the SHA, you can protect yourself against hantavirus by ventilating an area at least 30 minutes before cleaning, using wet cleaning methods like mopping rather than dusting, sweeping, or vacuuming, and wearing goggles or an N95 filter mask. Between 1994 and 2025, there have been 38 cases of hantavirus in Saskatchewan. A dozen were fatal. After winning the team's 5th Grey Cup last year, the Saskatchewan Roughriders had to wait until the end of round 1 to make their first pick in today's CFL Canadian Draft.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 CFL Canadian Draft, the Saskatchewan Roughriders select Malcolm Bell, defensive back, Michigan State.
The Riders going with a defensive back, Malcolm Bell, who played at Michigan State and the University of Connecticut. The team says he could be a future replacement for Tavon Campbell at quarterback, or maybe a safety. He is going to Cleveland Browns minicamp, so likely won't be with the Riders to start the season. The Riders have 7 more picks, 1 in each round. Meanwhile, the CFL announcing major changes to the playoff format and schedule for the 2027 season. Next year, the regular season begins on Victoria Day weekend. Playoffs will be transformed where 8 of 9 CFL teams qualify for playoffs. The top 2 teams in each division will play each other. The winner moves to round 3 while the loser plays in round 2, similar to a 1-2-page playoff in curling. The league says the changes are intended to create more drama and more entertainment, giving teams a chance to compete right until the end of the season. Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon currently just over $1.65 a litre. The lowest price in town is $1.59.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco dropped $8.71 today, and Nutrien finished the day at $99.81. Coming up, the top choices to name a child in Saskatchewan. Then the contest that had contestants making pigs of themselves.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us for another great night of television starting tonight at 7 with Will Trent.
And his little chihuahua.
All right, well, the province has released the top baby names for 2025.
Jeff,
Here they are.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff, sorry. Here's a look at the most popular names for girls. Olivia taking the #1 spot with 43 babies being given the name last year. Lainey, Nora, Amelia, and Evelyn round out the top 5. And for boys,
I think Chantel was number 6 on that list.
no, I looked at the top 20. I didn't make it. For boys, though, Noah was the most common name for boys allowed, followed by Jack, Mohammed, Oliver, and William. This is the first time that Mohammed has made the list. And if you're curious to see if you have made the list, the top 20 names were released, and you can check out our website, ctvnews.ca/Saskatoon for all the details. But
where was Jeff on that list?
Well, we only know the top 20. You didn't make it. Yeah. So sorry.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
This will cheer you up, though.
Sure.
Participants at a recent contest had a squealing good time. This was Estonia's first pig squealing contest. Participants each took a turn belting out their best swine-like sounds. There were squeals and grunts and even opera inspired oinks. A 3-member jury made up of representatives of Estonia's pig farming sector judged contestants on authenticity, power, and entertainment value. There were also a few real piglets in the audience, but I'm not sure if they were squealing with delight. But it's the first, probably won't be the last.
Probably not. There you go. And as long as you got a big old pig mascot, you're set.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
I'm sure you know your family practicing, right? A little bit.
That's right. That's right. All righty. Hey, warmer temperatures are on their way.
So he says.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.
Bye now.